We're going to continue this on there. We got cut a little bit on time. That gives us a little bit more time here. You with Terry-Dwayne-Ashford right now. Part two of that began at 10:15 Eastern Standard Time here in Washington, D.C. We were giving you an update on the clash, the pro-Palestine and pro-Israel protesters clash at Times Square. It's a story that was issued by the New York Post, and you're getting the story from SNnews JIC here in Washington, D.C. from Terry-Dwayne-Ashford, your journalist-in-chief broadcaster, who is also your Indacarseat, that guy. Now, we're going to start back because we're not sure where the live broadcast cut us off. But we're going to start back at the fact that first of all, it's a pro-Israel and a pro-Palestine protesters group. And they clashed, and that clash brought about the fireworks, and it's also brought about the fist. Yeah, they were fighting right there in the middle of the street, sent people running near Times Square. This occurred on Thursday as the tensions in the region spilled into the streets of Manhattan. Videos were taken. We have videos of everything that's happening. And we have people throwing punches. We have fights going on. Skirmishes between the groups erupted in the Midtown tourist hub as Israel and Hamas hope to have a ceasefire in Gaza that would end then more than 10 days of devastating hostilities. Now, again, this particular story comes to you from Indacarseat, that guy, SNnews, StreetNOW News, Terry-Dwayne-Ashford. But the actual original publishing of this story came from New York Post. New York Post writers there was Larry Salina and Tamar. I think the pronunciation of the name there is Lapin. Tamar Lapin. Now, the story was issued, posted and published, New York Post, today, May 20th, at 8:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's now 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Washington, D.C., and you're getting the report from New York Post through SNnews JIC, Terry-Dwayne-Ashford. Hostilities broke out. We have photographs of people throwing blows there. We have the news agencies out there. Fireworks were being thrown from cars into the Diamond District on 47th Street, sending some bystanders running for safety. And that's what we have going on here. The footage was posted on Twitter by a freelance reporter and showed a pro-Israel demonstrator getting socked in the stomach after attempting to chase down a man who snatched an Israeli flag from his hand. For StreetNOW News, you're hearing the voice of Terry-Dwayne-Ashford, SNnews, reporting for you from the New York Post article on the fighting that's going on in Manhattan in support of the Palestine and Israel fight with Hamas in Gaza. You are with Terry-Dwayne-Ashford in part two of the Thursday night report. This particular report is produced by Terry-Dwayne-Ashford. It's directed by Terry-Dwayne-Ashford. It's edited by Terry-Dwayne-Ashford. This particular report is managed by Terry-Dwayne-Ashford, and this is the voice of Terry-Dwayne-Ashford. On the cover of this particular photograph is going to be Terry-Dwayne-Ashford, all for you, taken at the time of the broadcast. And we're going to rock and we're going to roll for you, and we're going to close out for you in a few moments. Now, this particular story, the Palestine story and the fighting that we have going on in New York City, Manhattan, Times Square, that particular story came on the tail end of here in Washington, D.C. We had two Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police officers to nearly approach Terry-Dwayne-Ashford at 14th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. and Madison Street, and we began to report that. We also send our thank you to the police officers who came to assist, who may have seen the stalking and the harassing police officers. So that is what we thought. That particular article will be linked within the narrative of this particular broadcast. This is part two of that 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live broadcast that was brought to you by StreetNOW News Jake, Indacarseat, DatGuY, terry-dwayne-ashford. We're going to go ahead and close this out for you. Again, this is part 2. And we thank you so much for your listening here. We're going to give you a few moments there of music. Again, that music is called Grooving With You. And that was produced for you, with you, all about you and mine by Terry-Dwayne-Ashford, SNnews Jet.